I've always been a thrill seeker, the kind of person who craves the rush that comes with risky adventures. Whether it's drifting in a fast car or feeling the wind through my hair while I'm riding a horse, I just thrive on that adrenaline rush. But there's this one place that takes that thrill to a whole new level. The Blue Hole in Dahab, back home in Egypt. It's not your typical dive site. This place has a reputation and it's not for the faint-hearted. It has claimed so many divers' lives in the past 15 years. That sends shivers down most spines, which is understandable, but for me, that danger is like a magnet. It pulls me in. Call it crazy, but I find a certain kind of beauty in embracing that fear. Dahab holds a unique charm despite its unsettling history. The word Dahab is Arabic for gold. Some locals suggest that this refers to the color of the sand on its captivating beaches. They are surrounded by beautiful mountains and endless desert roads. It's a fascinating blend. It's full of dive sites, not just the Blue Hole. Below the surface of each one lies beautiful corals and sea creatures. They paint a vibrant underwater landscape. It's so incredibly inviting. My first dive ever happened right here. I remember telling my friend who was convincing me to join him one day. I told him I couldn't even swim. He just grinned and said, "You don't need to swim, you just need to sink." And I just couldn't resist that offer. As I sank in for the very first time, the weight of the water above just pressed down on me. It's not just the water, it's also the anticipation. It builds up, but it's so worth it when you're down there swimming on top of the most beautiful seabed. The fear is there, but so is the excitement. And when I came back up, I can still remember exactly how it felt. There's this lingering buzz that made me look forward to the next dive.
Not a bad start. No.
All because I embraced the idea that sometimes the risk is worth taking, but only if you approach it with logic and safety in mind.
This is the most dangerous dive site on Earth.
To be the single deadliest dive site on the planet.
We have a convulsing saliva.
It's thought to have claimed over 100 lives.
Since no official records have been kept, no one is really sure exactly.
Greatest number of diving deaths worldwide.
The Divers Cemetery.
And I'm not surprised there are plaques on that wall.
The Blue Hole is a deceptive place. It may look gorgeous from the surface with magical underwater views that draw you in, but once you go deep, sunlight starts disappearing and the caves get tighter and trickier to navigate. It's easy to lose track of how deep you've gone, until it's too late. A prime example of that is the story of Yuri Lipsky, a diver who became intertwined with the mystery of the Blue Hole. He was warned by an experienced diver that he wasn't ready for the depth that he wanted. Yet, driven by ego and a stubborn desire for thrill, he went alone. Unfortunately, Yuri never resurfaced from his solo dive. Yuri's body, along with the camera he carried, rested at the bottom for 3 days. The camera that was found at 115 meters remained dry in its waterproof housing, capturing the eerie scenes of the depth in Yuri's final moments. The footage unveiled the exact instant when things went south. At 91 meters, Yuri fell victim to nitrogen narcosis, a state similar to drunkenness underwater. It's induced by inhaling compressed gases from the tank. It clouds judgment, distorts perception, leading to tragic decisions. Yuri's story was an important wake-up call for all divers. It highlighted the importance of two rules that continue to shape our approach to diving to this day. Rule number 1: never go alone. Always dive with a buddy. Having a companion is crucial if you fall victim to narcosis. Rule number 2: keep your ego in check. The bigger your ego, the more risk you put yourself in. So stay humble and dive within the limits of your skill set. As long as you keep these rules in mind, you can experience the most incredible dive you've ever experienced.
I saw like really nice marine life تحت. كان في سمكة كده انت عارفها صح؟ قعدت اقول لك عليها كتير قوي.
It's not just the dive site, it's a place many of us feel like they belong. A place where the thrill seekers find their fix. It's not for everyone, but for those who get it, it's worth it. You just feel like now that you've done this, you can do anything.